Hey everyone, and welcome to Totally Music Official. I'm Tracy and I interview, review, react and chat about new songs, new albums and live shows. Today I'm back with an album review, and it's for an album that I cannot wait to talk about, and it's for someone who I have interviewed a lot on this channel. I've followed his journey right from the beginning of the channel and he's become a good friend of mine, so I can't wait to talk about his new album. And the album that I'm going to be talking about is Maybe This Is Meta by Ollie. It is his second album and I was so excited to listen to this album because I knew it was going to be incredible, and I can't wait to share my thoughts with you in this video. Now I have approached this one slightly differently because when I was making notes on the album, I just wanted to talk about everything. So I'm not going to go with my usual format on the album, and I'm going to make a start with talking about the songs on the album and why I like each of them, because I don't have a negative word to say about this album, so it's going to be positive all the way throughout. So I thought I'd sit and talk about what my favourite parts of each song are. I won't go into like too much detail about the songs because I'll be here all day. There's 12 tracks on the album and I'm going to point out my favourite things about each of the songs, just kind of bullet point them out so you know what I like about each of the songs. So the first song on the album, and it is such a strong song to start the album on, it is quite a short song. I think it kind of gives you a really good intro into what the album is about. And being completely honest, when I first heard this song, I actually had to pause it and then restart the album because it made me emotional. So I had to kind of like reset myself and then listen to the album in full. And the first song is called Takes One. And what I did notice about this song placement on the album, I don't know if this has been done intentionally or if it's just a coincidence, but on Ollie's EP Mad Love, it started with a bit of a shorter song, and then on his album The Dream, which was released in 2021, that also kind of had a bit of a shorter intro song. So I don't know if that's something that's been done consciously or if it is just a coincidence, but I kind of liked how that followed the path on this album as well. It is a sort of shorter emotional song, but I love how it perfectly blends into the next song on the album, which is Love Me. There's such a contrast between kind of like how upbeat the next song is, but it just perfectly flows into the song and just really captures your attention when that starts playing. So as I've just mentioned, the second song on the album is Love Me, and this is actually one of my favourite songs on the album. I loved it when it was released as a single, and I think it portrays such a strong message about social media and that what you see online as being someone's perfect life is not always the case. I think the lyrics are really relatable in this song, and it comes across as such like a happy song, but if you actually listen to the lyrics, they're quite sad, and I feel like that grasps the kind of concept of, you know, what you see online versus what in real life isn't always the same. It sort of also shows that a person could be quite happy and bubbly on the outside, but what they're going through on the inside is not the same. And yeah, as I say, social media kind of portrays that as well. So I think this song is kind of really cleverly put together. It's been perfectly done, but it is one that you can kind of, you know, have a bit of a dance to. It is a little bit upbeat, and I'm really looking forward to hearing this one live. For the third song on the album, we have Best Night of My Life. And I have heard this one live a couple of times, but I've never actually heard it as a produced version. So it was nice to finally get to hear that one in this kind of setting with the other songs as well. And in this song, I really liked the overlaps in it. And there's a lot of kind of like echoes in the lyrics, and I just think it gives that song the extra bit of power. And again, it's another very happy, upbeat song on the album. So next on the album, we have song 4, which is Houseplants. And oh my God, what an emotional song. It hits me every time I listen to it, and it hits me hard. I love how it is positioned on the album, and it kind of, I don't know if this is done purposely, but it kind of gives you that highs and lows of life, really. Like the album starts off quite emotional, then it goes like into some more upbeat songs, and then this one, it's, honestly, give it a listen because I am like lost for words on the song. Just the lyrics and everything in it are perfect. So please, if you haven't already listened to this song, go and give it a listen because you will be blown away. And then moving on to song number 5, we have Maypole Days. And what I like about this song is that it's all about Ollie's memories and what he remembers from his childhood and like the positivity around them, but then also kind of like how much life changes and it kind of like moves really fast. It's such a descriptive song that I feel really paints the picture of the day that he is describing and the celebrations that are held at the Maypole Day celebrations. And then for song 6, we have The Hut. And there is something about this song that's really grabbing my attention. And I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but there's something special about it. It is a very different kind of song for Ollie, but in a really good way. And I don't know, I keep going back to this song, but there's just something there. There's something special about it. And Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there is just something special about this song. I love the chorus in it. It's so catchy and you're singing along to it after a couple of listens. And the overall like vibe of the song is just great. So yeah, I'm excited to see if this one's performed live as well. I don't know it's so hard to explain, but there is just something, this song's capturing my attention, and I'd kind of like, I want to give it a few more listens to see why. And there's just something there that's just, as I say, it's so hard to explain, but I'm really intrigued about this one, and hopefully I get to hear it live at his gig as well. And then for song 7, we move on to Love Loving You, which this song is one of my favourite songs of all time. I've heard it live a few times, and then he released it as an EP with a few kind of like alternative versions of the song. And it's just, I loved it when it first came out, and it's grown on me ever since. It's a song I will never get bored of hearing. And I just think it is the most sweetest song ever. The lyrics in it are amazing. And actually, we'll come on to this in a bit, but it contains my favourite set of lyrics from any song ever in it. It is just such a touching song, and the 2 music videos that have been done for this song as well, they are just so touching and reflect the song really well. So I would highly recommend that you go and check out the Christmas version and the standard version. It's just the lyrics at the bottom, like the text of what love means to people. As I say, it's the most perfect song, and it's a song for me that I know I'm going to come back to it years to come and still listen to this song. It is one of the most perfect songs. I am somebody who loves lyrics, and this song just says it all. We then move on to song 8, which is Wildflower, and I have actually interviewed Ollie about this song, so I will put the links in the description below. But I just love how upbeat it is. It's one of those really summer sounding songs that you can just imagine being played at like a festival when you're driving in the sun, or yeah, it's just so upbeat. It lifts your mood, and you just feel in such high spirits after hearing the song. And again, the lyrics in it are amazing. And then the album moves on to song 9, which is Island. And I think this might just be my favourite out of the ones that weren't released as singles. There again is something about this song that just really caught my attention on first listen. I love how descriptive the lyrics are and how it's been produced and put together. And it's a song that I think has a really strong meaning behind it. Then moving on to song 10, we have Dinner in Joburg, which was the first song released as a single from this album. I really like the message behind it, that you know that you get on well with someone is a true friend, because you can be away from each other for so long, but the minute you get back together, you just kind of click, and it's like no time at all has passed. And the lyrics in this song portray that so well, and just the overall vibe of the song, again, it's just one that it's just so lovely and sweet, and it's so descriptive that you can almost picture yourself there in the moment. And then we have The Fets, which is song 11 and the second to last song on the album. And I love the start of this song. I love the instrumental and how it draws you into the song. And it just really captures your attention as soon as it starts. This is a song that has quite a softer background compared to quite a few of the others on the album. And I just feel like it really lets Ollie's voice shine, and you can see like his true talent with his singing and his voice. And again, another song where everything's just perfect in it. You can tell with this album that the songs have been like really well thought out, and time has been spent on the songs making them perfect. It really shows, and you can see kind of like the talent that has been put there into each of the songs. And with this one as well, I absolutely love how it is a little bit of a shorter song, but it blends perfectly into the next song. It's almost like one continuation of the song into the next, and how that has been done, but you can still distinguish which song is which. It's just great how that's been put in there. And then the final song on the album, it's song 12, is Under the Apple Tree. And as I've just mentioned, I love how this one starts as the song before it finishes. Just honestly go and check it out, because you will see what I mean about the blend. It has been done perfectly. It is a really strong song to end the album on. And again, I feel like it's another song that allows Ollie's voice to shine. And I do like the overlaps used in the lyrics on this song. It gives it a little bit of an extra pop and just makes it perfect. So now you've heard my thoughts on each of the songs, I'm going to move on to my favourite lyrics from the album. And this was so difficult. I have actually come up with 8 sets of lyrics from the songs on the album. So I'm going to talk you through them and why I like them. I am such a lyric girl when it comes to music. I love listening into the lyrics to see why they've been put how they have, and I love a set of lyrics that tells a story. So I'm going to go through those and explain to you what my favourite lyrics are from the album. And they're just done in the order that the songs appear on the album. So the first set is from Takes One, and they are: happiness is getting much harder to face when it isn't my face that you choose. This is about 30 seconds into the album, and this is the set of lyrics where I had to pause the album, recompose myself and play it again because they hit me. I don't know what it was about them, but I just got really emotional, and as I say, had to restart the album again. Now for the second set, I've had to go with all the lyrics in the song Love Me. As I mentioned before, it is a really relatable song, and I just think the way it's been put together lyrically is perfect. So the whole song for that goes to my favourite set of lyrics, as I feel just lyrically it is such a strong song. So my next favourite set of lyrics are from the song Houseplants. Now this song again is another one that is overall really strong lyrically. It gets you so emotional every time you hear the song, but I have chosen from this song, Do You Go to Bed Without Me and Still Leave Me Aside? When I heard that, that is when the emotion kicked in. And I've heard this song live once before as well, and I got the same feeling when I heard those lyrics, so they had to go in my list of favourites. I think it also just kind of perfectly sets what the song is about overall as well. As I say, it's right at the beginning of the song, and it just kind of sets that vibe for the song throughout. And also from that song, I have chosen Do I Even Cross Your Mind Because I Can't Get You Out of Mine. Again, I think they speak for themselves, just how powerful they are. And then the next set is from the song Love Loving You. Now, overall, this song is my favourite lyrically anyway, but this set of lyrics I've chosen is my favourite set of lyrics, and I'm going to make a bold statement here, but it's from my favourite set of lyrics from any song ever. Any song that has ever been released, nothing has ever beaten this set of lyrics for me. And they are: I want you to see yourself how I do, because when I look into your eyes, the whole world slips away. I just think they're beautiful. The way he sings them is perfectly. They get me every time I hear them. And yeah, as I say, 100% my favourite set of lyrics from any song ever. I think I actually said this in my reaction video to this song as well, and I still stand by that. So yeah, please, if you haven't already, go and check that song out because it's perfect. And then we have a set from the song Island. I promise you there's only a few more, but this album's just like, it's so strong lyrically, I had to choose all of these. And they are: If I'm In With The Memories, Is It The Good or The Bad? Again, this is a set that just spoke to me, so they had to go in my favourite set of lyrics. The next set is from the song The Fets, and that set of lyrics is: One more trip around the sun, free falling to see where I land. And I love how, again, how descriptive they are, and I just think they paint a really strong picture of, you know, every year something different comes, and every year you could have different things to tackle, and I don't know, they just stood out to me, so they went in my list as well. And then for the final set, it's from Under the Apple Tree, and they are: I find it hard to breathe because you take the breath away from me. And I think it's a set of lyrics that are so relatable, and they just paint the most perfect picture in my mind. Just, you can kind of go back to a time when you felt like that, and yeah, just so strong again. And as I say, I love Ollie's songs for his lyrics, and yeah, that's why I've chosen so many. So that was my last set of favourite lyrics from the album, but there's so many more in there that I could have chosen from as well. So sticking with my favourites, we will move on to my favourite songs from the album, and this was so difficult to choose from, and I can guarantee I'm filming this now and in about 30 minutes they'll have changed again, because I like them all. There's not a song on there that I dislike. So I've gone with my favourite 4, but if I could have chosen all 12 I would have done. So my first song, you've probably guessed this from what I've said, but it's got to be Love Loving You. Everything about it, the lyrics, the way it's sung, the kind of the tempo of the song, just, it's perfect. It's amazing live. It fits in such a lovely position on the album, and yeah, that is definitely my favourite song on the album. Then we have Houseplants. I just love the kind of raw emotion in this song, and again, it's a song that hits me every time I hear it. It just makes you emotional, and the way it just describes kind of like the breakup and what kind of like emotions are being kind of gone through. And yeah, it's just so well put together that had to go on my list of favourite songs. Then for my third favourite, we have Love Me. As I say, it's such a song that portrays such a strong message about social media, which I think is really important to highlight. And I love how it's been done with the kind of like being a really upbeat song, but then when you actually listen to the lyrics in the song, it's got such a kind of like sadder meaning to it. And it's one that just kind of makes you think, and again, another song that's really relatable. And then for my fourth favourite song, I've kind of got a joint one for this. I've gone with The Hut and Island. The Hut, there's just something about it, as I said before, and I think this one, I think it's going to do really well, and I think it could be a turning point for Ollie. And then Island, I just love the descriptiveness of it. It really paints a strong picture. So they kind of went joint fourth. But I feel like Takes One should be in there as well. Because that, I don't think an album's ever done that to me before, where I've had to actually stop it and restart it because I got emotional. Oh God, this is so hard to choose. Right, I'm going to go with them four, but I'll just say I love all of them as well. So yeah. So overall, I really feel like this album allows Ollie's voice to shine. It's really strong, and as I've said, there isn't a song on this album that I dislike. I enjoyed every single one of them. It's an album as well that, like, I've listened to it a few times now, and it just doesn't drag on. It's over with so quick because you're just enjoying every part of the album, and it just kind of goes by so quick. And I just love that about it, because there is some albums that I've listened to that you don't like a song on it, so you kind of skip a song, but there'll definitely be no songs that I skip on this album, and I will be listening to it start to finish multiple times. What I also really like is that there are a lot of different songs on the album, which again shows how talented Ollie is, because he smashes all of them on it, but it gives you that kind of like different perspective as well on his music. And yeah, it allows the kind of the vibe of the album to shine as well, because you do have the slower ones, the more faster ones, and I think it's just kind of like something for everyone as well on the album, that I think people will really enjoy listening to it. I feel as well that every song on this album could quite easily stand on its own as a single, but when they come together, they are that strong, they just create a powerful album. And as I say, I love the ordering of how they've been put on the album, and that just adds to it. And yeah, it is overall, we'll just go with that, powerful album. And I think as well the ordering's been thought about really well on the album, because you kind of like, you don't have too many upbeat songs together and then too many slower songs together. They're kind of mixed throughout, and that allows the story of the album to be told, I think, and you can tell a lot of thought has gone into that and how it's been put together. And then finally, I like how the songs have been laid out, but they kind of blend into one another, so there's almost like seamless transition between the songs. So you kind of get in the 12 songs, but then because they flow that perfectly, it's like one consistent, like, what, the album probably about 30-40 minutes long. It's kind of like you get to listen to it all as like a consistent piece of work as well, which I really enjoyed, and I thought that was a nice touch that was put on there. And just something else that I want to mention before I finish this video, and Ollie, if you're watching this, it's a question for you, because I'm not too sure if I'm hearing something right. I'm right at the end of the album, and if I am right about this has been a really nice piece of detail that's been put in there. So the last song on the album, it kind of makes a little kind of tune at the end. Was that the tune that you used to use on your videos when this heart came up at the end, or am I just imagining that? Because I feel like it could either be that or it could be similar. So let me know if that was done intentionally, please, because if not, I feel like I'm hearing things, but it is a nice end to the album. So yeah, I would highly recommend you checking out Maybe This Is Meta by Ollie Hayes. And I think what has been nice about this album is that I actually interviewed Ollie when he first released his song Dealing With a Broken Heart, which was his first ever single. So for over the past 6 years, I've got to follow him with that journey of his music, and you can just see like how much he's learning, how much he's progressing. And I mean this in like the nicest possible way. His songs have always been amazing, but I think this album's just topped it all, and I'm so excited to see what is coming for him in the future. If you have listened to Maybe This Is Meta by Ollie Hayes, then please let me know what you think of it in the comments below, because I would love to know, and I would highly recommend you checking it out if you haven't already. And if you would like to discover some more incredible independent musicians, then please hit my subscribe button so you don't miss the next video I post. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.